Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
The answer to the question is yes.
Get your ass lost.
Whatever the question is, the answer is yes.
13.
Well, I think it kind of speaks for itself. He just goes completely anti-science.
I'm paying money for naughty favors. Where's that mushroom toy?
Because that mushroom head seems to get in the way.
I'm a good girl, I am.
She was what the kids would call a slut, which is a terrible thing to say, but apparently there's no denying she was one.
I want to apologize to all of you for what happened in there. In our competition for ratings, we all lost sight of why we got into show business in the first place.
Yeah, titties and beer.
I guess he's not being charged for hollering.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Nothing Yet Live. I am the J. Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
All right. Yeah. If you were wondering, the answer is yes. It's always yes. When it's not no.
Unless it's no. That would be a yes.
So, band name. Don't say it. We'll get to that. Look, Brooklyn shooting update. Right, they caught a guy. He looks guilty.
I hate to be cynical, but the suspects are two black men, and I have a feeling Fox News just jibbed in their pants. And I mean, I'm not making jokes. I'm totally serious.
Yeah, of course, it's a black guy. It's like,
well, I think it's two. I think there are two suspects, and they're both black.
I believe this commercial because not that they're using hockey.
They're using
spaghettis
noodles.
It's just that there's a black guy playing hockey. That's all.
They heard us say black.
Have a suspect in custody right now. They also say they have a growing pile of evidence connecting James to the crime, including a gun and ammunition found at the scene, along with a tote bag filled with more smoke canisters, fireworks, a hatchet, a spray bottle of gasoline, and a fuse.
Someone say he came to class. What do you think, Marka?
Some would say a lot of circumstantial evidence right there. And I apologize for saying there were two suspects. I probably saw two pictures of him, maybe at different ages.
Well, they thought there was for a moment.
Oh, okay.
That there might have been more than one because of whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah, this guy
also found a set of keys, which led them to a
man after my own heart.
Which was
except for the rental car part.
Crime scene. Police say they have video showing James getting out of that van.
See, I thought that was two guys, except for the part where he leaves a beautiful trail of breadcrumbs to all the evidence they probably need to convict him.
Man, haven't you watched one episode of Dexter?
You're supposed to fuck up the crime scene. You're supposed to taint.
Like that one Florida man. She brought me she goes, I have this Florida man story, and then oh no, never mind.
Yeah, the first part of the story was
funny.
Florida man urinates on evidence,
right.
And then the second part was not funny at all. So I said, forget it. But yeah, Dexter is a Florida man, but he's sort of an anti-Florida man because he's super smart.
He's so Florida, he's anti-Florida.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you, anti-Florida man.
Yeah.
All right. This guy.
Found N train, which they believe he was on for over an hour before.
The N train. Watch me unnecessarily.
I know what's coming. I know what's coming. You're scaring me.
I'm gonna unnecessarily censor this man.
That van yesterday morning. Then walking to a nearby subway station and getting on a Manhattan-bound N train, which they believe he was on for over an hour before donning a gas mask, setting off a smoke grenade and opening fire. We're going to get an NYPD briefing on this in just a moment.
Label-sized
joining me now is NBC News correspondent Chris Jansing from Brooklyn, New York, and NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. So, Pete, this news conference was supposed to be about getting help finding the guy. Seems like they're going to have a different.
It's going up.
Well, that's the word we have.
Right there we go.
It's a suspect in custody.
VJ Tyler.
Is that it is Frank.
Visual superhero.
Engineer extraordinaire. So, Brooklyn shooting, like, man, don't get on the N-word and then shoot the place up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
not even gonna touch it.
We all know what our roles are here, and I'm gonna
This
stay
is
on
not yours.
Yeah, mine is saying shitty things about women because you can't. Mostly.
Let's see. I need to push this up. Look at that. Point there. A little more level. Hey, shout out to awesome Julia the Valley from so Pennsylvania reinstates mask mandates.
Penn State.
No, I just wrote Penn State. It's Pennsylvania.
Oh, the state of Pennsylvania is what you meant.
I
not
just
Penn
wrote
State.
Penn State because they're pedophiles.
They've there is one.
Pedophiles live there. Allegedly, pedophiles live there.
More than one.
Yes.
Definitely one, probably more than one, because where there's one, there are others, and they cover for each other. But yeah, thank you, awesome Julia the Valley, for being from Philly.
Yeah, look this up.
Ish.
What's going on with the mask mandates? Also, coming up later on tonight's show, Engineer Tage and I are going to talk about what are called the Toynbee Tiles.
Are you cheating on him with me?
No.
I mean, cheating on him on me.
Parker.
You're cheating with him on me.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about nerd stuff. It's just fun to have him around. He's only going to be around for a few more days.
I know.
I might as well just
I love it.
Enjoy it. So, yeah, we're going to talk about nerd stuff. But the Toynbee tiles are this phenomenon that happened in Pennsylvania in the 80s and 90s and is sort of making a comeback around, where these random cryptograph type tiles were, and I know just how he did it and everything, like how they lay them. And in fact, we might do one of our own. But check out the Toynbee tile.
I'm kind of excited. I want to pick the patterns. Let's get several little patterns. And you know what? They might have scraps, and we can just grab scraps. We don't have to pay for it. Somewhere. I bet they have scraps somewhere. We could go to a tile store and see if they have scraps.
Hey, is that what happened in Philly?
Maybe. What happens to tile scraps? Tell me. You toss them, right? Usually. No, you've done. You're a tile setter. What do they do with the scraps? What do you do with the scraps?
I make spears out of them, and then I stab the customers
who don't pay you.
I'm not going to talk about that. Quick archery lesson. This is one of those things that I saw that I see this guy. Now, this man, you know me, I love archery. I want to go do some. I was thinking about going up to Fall Creek and doing a basically a re-scene of something that happened in high school, where I went up into Fall Creek and me and a buddy of mine, Chloe, we had bows and arrows and we were just shooting them at things, just challenging each other to like, oh, that's the target, and then shoot at the target. So this guy shows up. This is funny. Now, he's talking about archery. Now, imagine his voice. Go ahead.
I'm not going to imitate it. I'm not good at.
Imagine this.
He's Vietnamese. I would assume he had an American accent.
Push forward and let go with the rear hand.
He's been
probably went into 2020.
He's been hanging out with the Flight of the Conchords, apparently.
And one of them might be to get started with archery. It's Olympic year. You might have always wanted to do it. So why not do it in 2020?
This man has the coolest
hybrid accent.
Yeah.
It's like the Vietnamese is meets the New Zealand, and
he seems like a really cool guy.
Beautiful.
Also, if you guys recognize that bow, it's because I have one. I have 2, 4, actually 6, but only 2 like this.
Did you take back the bow that? Oh yeah, you have it because you were using it with the kids, right?
Yeah, I have all the bows.
But I can still use it, right?
Well, of course.
Okay, I can play with it. We should go to Fall Creek and slingshot. I'm really eager to do some slingshot.
Hey, you want? I would love to do an adventure where I would just take a bunch of these salmon slingshots and these bows just up into the forest and shoot them. That's what we used to do when we were kids.
You would shoot the bows out of slingshots. You have shot arrows. I mean, shot arrows out of slingshots. I saw you do that.
I've done it. It's an interesting thing.
Remember when I shot you in the ass with a pine net?
Yes, we've talked about
not a pine net, a palm net. But what was so funny about it was just before I did it, Dr. Z goes, "Don't actually shoot him. Don't actually shoot him." And I'm like,
yeah, like, don't tell me what to do, bitch.
Now I'm gonna shoot him.
I am a master at arms. I like weapons. Tage and I like weapons. We're quite adept at using most weapons. And so if you guys want to come shooting with us, hit us up. Also, if you want some Hope Craft CBDs, Jackson Tyne and Tammy Tyne are on Delta, Colorado, constantly working on improving the sustainability of our farms. They care about the environment. They care about climate change. Also, Jackson likes bows.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we can see it. Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah. Close enough.
Close enough. It's got a glare on it. So
if anybody wants to go shooting with me, or like, again, tennis to me is just a form of archery. It's like ball, implement, target.
To me, it's bye-bye to more cartilage in my knees.
Well, archery doesn't cost you.
I know. That's why.
And this guy, this video was made in 2020. This guy's just like, I've totally lost all my archery students because of COVID. And it's like, dude, I would have figured out how to do that outside. Archery in the time of COVID, just shoot at each other.
Well, and you can teach from a 6-foot distance too.
You put a tennis ball in the front of, you get a hybrid sport. Put a tennis ball in front of an arrow and just.
Oh, and if someone sneezes
shoot you.
At the beginning of the pandemic, if someone sneezed around you, you had to put them down. If someone sneezed, just.
So every time I feel like I'm a little out of practice, I watch a video sometimes. This guy is really cool.
I just want to make this statement: KROT does not endorse violence, like I just kind of threatened.
I am fast. This man has the greatest accent of all time. Like,
or should I say, Corona shaped. And because able to access instructing and coaching resources in your area. Perhaps the clubs have closed down, or perhaps you simply don't have access to clubs in the first place. My goal is to give you a very quick and simple demonstration of how to use your bow.
This is a story of how
just stop.
New Sensei got his groove back.
Said previously, as a person who is Jewish, stop saying Jew if you're not Jewish.
For you to progress.
No, he has. How would you define that? Like, is that just a South Pacific accent?
I don't know what is.
Because you need $35 an hour for a tile setter. That doesn't sound real. I mean, which is it? Why don't you just give me the $35 an hour?
That's quite a range.
Hey,
that's
look,
like,
all of you people out there who have kids that maybe are going through college, that need jobs and want to learn an incredibly valuable skill. Apparently, I fucking am your guy. Why should I even have to do the job? Why don't I just teach a kid how to do it and make a little bit of cheddar off of him? Because that's what they fucking did to me for years. It pisses me off. On that note, I am the J. Tyler.
I am the other member of I'm the other down chain of the oligarchy, Miss Parker.
And if you want to fucking talk about something, we're down. But if you want to talk about something you don't know anything about, then maybe you should just shut the fuck up and let the adults speak. This
is Nothing Yet Live.